Hello there, welcome back. In this video we're going to be taking a quick look at this fella. This is the Kebtek 8-inch cordless chainsaw, and it's quite a useful piece of kit. Behind me here I'm in the process of building a big run for my chickens. So there's numerous posts, rails, stays, holding everything together until I can get them all concreted in. And this lad has been useful for taking the ends off the rails very quickly. It's not as neat as using a sharp handsaw, but it's a hell of a lot easier. So I'll use this fella to take a few of the ends of the rails off, and then we'll take it up into the wood. This has got a 21 volt battery which slots on the bottom like so. Whoops. And it comes with two of those batteries. It comes with two chains, one of which is fixed to the machine. What it doesn't come with is oil, and that's the little thing that you fill up with oil. That's your oil gauge. I will say don't put much oil in there, maybe 20 mil, 25 mil or something. And the reason I say don't put much oil in there is because I'm used to big chainsaws, or bigger chainsaws, like 14, 16 inches, petrol jobs where you fill them up with quite a lot of oil. I tried that with this and it just ended up all over the place, so I had it all to clean up. I think I managed to wipe most of the oil off, so we'll give it a go on this structure behind me. We'll just take the ends off some rails, and then I think I'll take it to the far end of the garden where we've got some oak branches and maybe a bit of beech and other hardwoods, and I'll show you how it cuts those. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, nice clean cut. Yeah, here we've got some beech. Oh yeah, no problem. Okay, so behind me here we've got a Spanish laurel tree, which is going to have to be pruned anyway because most of the trees in my wood are going to be thinned out. So I may as well get to it with this fella. And as you can see, it's pretty neat. Good. Now it's got this handle on the side because you are meant to use it with two hands, to stop it kicking back or pulling forward when it's in use. However, you can use it one-handed as long as you've got a pretty strong grip, as I shall demonstrate. Here we've got a little shambolic lelandii tree which is too close to my cabin, and it's also in the way of where we're going to be felling, so it may as well come down as well. Yeah, that's well handy. After the first maybe 10 minutes, quarter of an hour of playing around with this, I noticed that the chain went very slack. that is common with other chainsaws, and I would imagine it would be more noticeable on a small one like this that only has like an 8-inch blade. But it's very easy to tighten up. It's got 2 bolts here. It's just the same as an ordinary chainsaw, to be honest with you, but easier. So you slacken those off, and this you turn clockwise, and that tightens the chain up, and then you just tighten these 2 silver bolts back down, and that secures it in the tight position. Likewise, if you think it's too tight and it's not turning around well, you want to slacken it off a bit, you just undo these bolts and you turn that anti-clockwise, and it allows it to slacken off, and then you just tighten those up again to set it at that tension. It's got a safety switch which is located here, and that goes through to there. So if you push it in with your right hand, it allows it to work, and then if you use your thumb to push it back that way, it locks the trigger. Very similar to like a rifle, like a 1022, Ruger 1022. It's a bit of an obscure reference, not many people have rifles now, but I'm sure for you guys in the US, you'll be familiar with a Ruger 1022. Same sort of thing, it's like a safety switch. Really, apart from that, the only other feature to it is this, which can get in the way a little bit, but it stops the muck flying back into your face. It's almost like a mud guard on a bike. Plus, if the chain does break, it'll prevent parts of it from going in your face as well, because that'll catch them and direct them elsewhere, you know. The last thing you want is things going in your face. Oh, it does come with some glasses, and it does come with some gloves. The gloves are a little bit tight for me. It takes me ages to get them on, but I'll show you those before the end of the video because they're pretty good. Now, as far as the weight of this, the guarantee, the price, all that sort of thing, you can find it in the video description. I'll put a link to where you can buy it from, which is either the Kebtek website or on Amazon. I'm sure it's available all over the world. It seems to be well made, it feels comfortable. The fittings seem to be, you know, pretty good quality. The handle where the trigger is and the handle that you hold seem to be in good places. It's very convenient to maneuver the saw. Yeah, it's certainly not too heavy. In fact, it feels suspiciously light, very maneuverable. The handle is comfortable for my size of hand, which isn't huge. Got quite wide hands, but relatively short fingers. That fits me perfectly. The safety is in a very convenient place. This extended handle adds more safety and also allows you, well, basically just to use it safely and put a little bit more down pressure on when you're going through a bit of wood. So all in all, I'm very pleased with this. Thank you very much to Kebtek. It's certainly been useful for me when I've been making my hen run, and it's going to be super useful once we get all the big trees out of the wood, and then whatever's left needs to be well, maintained and also shaped as well, because there will be some damage getting these big trees out. And given that my garden is huge and there must be, God, hundreds of trees and bushes and all sorts that need to be maintained reasonably regularly, this will most definitely get plenty of work. Small chainsaw for small jobs. You aren't going to be filling your log store when you're stocking up for the winter using something like this. It's just not feasible. It's just for small jobs, you know, like I've been doing with the chicken run, just for taking the ends of the posts and rails off. Very handy for that. Saves a lot of the arm work, and it's excellent for cutting the trees and the bushes that I've got all around my place back. Again, that saves, you know, using loppers, although I do have some powered secateurs also by Kebtek, which will be coming up in the next video. Really, if you're looking for a good value, well-made, small chainsaw for pruning jobs, or just like what I've been using it for, like taking the ends of posts and rails off, occasional use, this might well fit the bill for you. If you're looking for something that's going to allow you to cut logs to burn on a log burning stove, you really want a proper chainsaw, you know, whether that's an electric one or a petrol one, you know, something, I don't know, 12 to 16 inches that'll go through big logs. You don't want to be chopping hundreds and hundreds of tiny little logs with this fella. This is really just for pruning jobs, and I mean it's very light, very maneuverable, you know. You could easily climb up a tree with this fella and even just use it one-handed to take little branches off. In fact, yeah, the balance is pretty good, because obviously you've got the motor and the blade in the front, and you've got the battery on the bottom, and you've got the handle in the middle of that. So it's slightly front heavy, which is good, but it is, you know, well balanced. This stuff is the most uncomfortable to sit on. Okay, so what is in the box? Well, you've got a hard carry box. You've got your safety gloves, instructions, tools and a spare blade. And then you've got your chainsaw in there. Now, as you can see, it fits in there very well. The only thing that's missing from there is a guard that goes over the chain. I actually put that down somewhere in the garden and I can't remember where I left it, so I'm going to have to retrace my steps. But that basically just slots over, just like an ordinary chain guard, you know. 2 batteries, 1 really useful chainsaw, charger, extra handle, instructions, safety gear. Oh, there was goggles as well. Again, I've put those down somewhere and forgot where I left them. So it's quite a comprehensive piece of kit at a very reasonable price. Big thanks to Kebtek for sending me this. And they did that because I previously reviewed some secateurs that I've got from, I think I got them on Amazon through them. And they were impressed with that video, so I told them, well, yeah, you can send this and I'll make a video on it. So hopefully you guys who've watched this have found this useful. If you have, give it a thumbs up. Check out the links in the video description and the pinned comment. If you want to buy one, we'll find out where you can get them and how much they are and so on and such forth. And I'll see you next time.